What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Misplayed Magic, the only Magic the Gathering YouTube channel doing giveaways based on how I draft. You'll see up on the screen here. If I get 0 wins, I'm giving away a collector booster pack of Edge of Eternities all the way down to if I get 7 wins, I'm giving away a draft, which I did in my last episode. The first ever draft I had, I ended up getting a trophy. So make sure you check it out and maybe you can win a free draft. As we jump into it today, I am going to do things a little bit differently. I am not going to be spinning the Wheel of Chaos. I want to just try a normal draft. I'm going to try and draft this set normally. We're going to see how it goes. We'll jump into it, and hopefully I can get another trophy, get one of you guys another draft. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Right, hopping on into this first pack, and we open a couple of rares. One is the Weapons Manufacturing. Whenever a non-token artifact you control enters, create a colorless artifact token. When it leaves, you deal 2 damage to any target. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. We've also got a loading zone. If one or more counters we put on a creature, spacecraft, or planet you control, twice that many are put on it instead. I also don't like it. I don't love it. I don't know. It seems slow. I want to be playing creatures when I'm playing a 4 mana card. So I don't think we're going to be picking that here. I do think the Wedgelight Rammer is good. I feel like stationing this to 9 though is going to be a battle, an absolute battle. So I don't want to pick that. I think the Umbral Collar Zealot is decent. The Terrapact Intimidator is really good, but I want to be in green, and I really want to try out the Atmospheric Greenhouse. It's a 5 mana. It turns into a 5/4 eventually, but just puts a 1/1 counter on every creature you control. I want to pick the Atmospheric Greenhouse and hopefully draft a sick, maybe white-green counters deck, but Terrapact Intimidator is a wheelhouse in and of itself. All right, hopping on into this next pack, and we could just take the Terrapact Intimidator. I just said it was a wheelhouse. I think it's really good. There's no green cards here we're going to pick, so we're going to have to spread out into another color. I do think the Intimidator is better than the Rescue Skiff. I do. I think it's a little bit better. Not a lot, but a little bit. So we're going to take the Terrapact Intimidator here. Very excited to be picking that up as a solid 2-drop creature. Somebody else is picking that to our left, but, you know, what are you going to do? Hopping on out into this next pack, and I don't want to get so married to our first pick, but I do think that the Melt Strider Eulogist is quite good. Whenever a creature we control the 1 counter on it dies, we draw a card, but I also think the Entropic Battlecruiser is solid. Whenever an opponent discards a card, they lose 3 life. Whenever it attacks, they discard a card, and if they can't, they lose 3 life. It's good. It is like a 3/10 though. Yeah, I'm going to take the green card. I'm going to take the Melt Strider Eulogist. I think it's a little bit better. And at worst case, it's a 3 mana 3/3, which is fine. I'm fine playing 3 mana 3/3s. There was also a removal spell in red as well, which kind of caught my eye at the end there. But I'm more excited about the Eulogist here. I want to make the greenhouse work. All right, hopping on now into this next one. And we could take a Social Engineering. It is a Chocobo Racetrack, but you can do the thing on 2, which is kind of fun. I'm intrigued. That's all I'll say. I'm a little bit intrigued. I kind of want to try it. I do think the Ice Cave Crasher is good. I also think the Thawbringer is really solid. I wish I had Trample instead of Surveil 1, but, you know, I still like that card a decent amount. I'm not a huge fan of reroute systems. Flight Deck Coordinator's okay. Yeah, it's either the Ice Cave Crasher, the Thawbringer, or the Social Engineering. I'm going with the Social Engineering. We're going to try it. I think because we can play it on 2, it's going to be a little bit better. And we'll try it. We'll figure it out. Maybe it's terrible. But we're play testing right now. All right, moving on into this next one. We got a couple of options. I do think the Debris Field Crusher is decent. I think this card is totally fine. But I think the Kav Landseeker might just be better, especially if we want to make the Social Engineering thing work. I think moving into a red-green landfall deck might make some sense. Germinating Worm, super solid. Shattered Wings is okay. I think it's a little bit better in this set. Being able to Surveil 1's good too. I'm going to try out the Landseeker here. I think that card is really solid. Noting our curve is pretty high right now. Hopping on now into this next pack. I think we're very excited to see a Galactic Wayfarer. This card is really good. Was able to draft it in our last video, and I think it's really strong. You get to make a lander token. It'll be good for the Social Engineering. We're gonna pretty much snap pick this up. I will say Remnant Elemental can be good. Do we try the Remnant Elemental for science? No. I want the Galactic Wayfarer more than that. I think it's just a little bit better, and I'm trying as hard as I can to win today. Moving on into this next pack. I'm not seeing anything I love. So for that reason, I'm probably going to take the Sacred Foundry. I think this card is solid. Fungal Colossus is okay. Nebula Dragon also is decent. It's just so expensive. But it can, like, zap your opponent for 7, which is cool. I'm going to go with a Sacred Foundry here for the potential white splash upside that we could have over the Giant Dragon. Hopping on into this next one. So I think it's just time for us to fill out our curve. And I think it's between either a Overplayed Pangolin or a Blooming Stinger. I don't really want the Melt Strider gear, so I'm going to go with the Blooming Stinger here. I will say I do think the Elvoy Lightjammer can be good, but I'm not a huge fan of either of these blue or black cards. We're just going to go with the Blooming Stinger here as a super solid 2-drop creature. Moving on now into our 9th selection. We could still take the Loading Zone. Could be good. Do I do it for science? No. I'm going to take the Germinating Worm. 5 mana, 5/5, gain 2 is just good. That's a good rate. I want that. I don't like the red card all that much. I don't think the 3/3 with haste is all that good. I do think having another Land Seeker actually makes some sense here. Getting a couple of those Lander tokens with those, plus the Galactic Wayfarer is going to be pretty good here. Moving on to this next pack. Not loving anything. We'll take the Flight Deck Coordinator, but probably not going to be playing it today. I think we're in the right lane. I do think green is just like super, super open. So I think we're just going to take as many green cards as we can, probably pairing it with red. I mean, we'll take a Shattered Wings. Maybe it'll make its way into our deck if we're super short on playables. Hopping on into this next pack, and whoo! It's a pack. It is a pack. So Xenomorph Imago is really good. It's really good. I'm trying to think back. I don't think blue was super open. This card is really solid, but I'm seeing a Glacier Godmaw, which I really like. I really like this card a lot. We've got a ton of the landfall stuff already. I think we owe it to ourselves to take the Glacier Godmaw here. I will say Plasma Bolt, also really strong. Even the Stomping Ground would be good here. It's close. I'm going to take the Glacier Godmaw, also because I just think that card looks super fun. And we'll move on to our next selection here. Now, I do think we got to start prioritizing removal effects, but Territorial Bruntar is really good in our deck. Plasma Bolt, also very good. We don't have many removal spells, but I'm not going to change my ways now. I'm taking the Territorial Bruntar. Our curve is super high, I will say. Super, super high. Maybe we're supposed to just take a Plasma Bolt. Yeah, I think that's a little bit smarter. Our curve is crazy as is. I'm going to take the Plasma Bolt here. Up on this next pack, I think we're totally fine taking a Frenzied Baloth. I think this card is dope. I think this card's good. I think we're typically going to be able to cast it. We'll have 2 green in hand. A lot of other good cards in this pack, though. I think the Siege Ship Agrarian is pretty solid. I think you're probably being able to attack with it a couple times, but I really want to prioritize the lower mana portion of our curve, so we're going to take the Baloth here. Maybe the Agrarian will wheel. I doubt it, but maybe. We can hope. Hopping on into this next one, and I don't love the Diadrin Synthesis Amalgam. Maybe I don't get this card. I don't get how it's going to play out. But if you're paying 6 mana, you get a 4/5 that maybe can remove other things, other tokens from your other creatures. You can draw a card, make a 2/2. That feels bad. I don't know why. That feels bad to me. So I'm not going to pick that. So we could take the Fellbringer here, or we could just take like a Banishing Light on the splash. I'm going to take the Fellbringer. I think that makes the most sense for us. Hopping on into our 5th selection, and it's drying up a little bit here. I think Biosynthetic Burst makes some sense. Super decent combat trick, and kind of protection spell. So I'm going to take that here. I like it a little bit more. I guess Full Bore is also pretty good. Yeah, I'll go Full Bore. 1 mana is crazy for that effect. Hopping on into this next selection, I do think Cut Propulsion is... Gosh, I have no clue if this is good or not. Let's try it for science. I also think the Blooming Stinger is probably the smarter pick there, but we're going to take that. Hopping on into our 7th pick. Very excited to see a Diplomatic Relations. I do think green. I think that's where we were supposed to be. I think that card is really, really solid. We'll look to pick up a couple more, maybe Blooming Stingers or something. Some other 2-mana creatures that are good, but we've got a really good-looking deck here so far. Hopping on into this next one, I'm going to take a Rescue Skiff. I actually could see a world in which we're playing that. We maybe are splashing white with all of the landers we're making. I think this card actually might make some sense in our deck. We've got some creatures worth bringing back, so maybe a Rescue Skiff on the splash could make some sense just to help increase our power level here. Hopping on into this next one, couple decent cards. I do think Drill Too Deep is interesting. I'm probably just going to take the Weft Stalker Ardent. I don't love any of the cards all that much, but we're going to try that out here. Now I think we're very excited to pick up an Intrepid Tenderfoot, just a 2-mana 2/2. It can grow, it can do things. I think we're excited with that inclusion, helping us to curve out here. Moving on to this next pack, we'll take an Auxiliary Boosters, but I don't think we're playing any of those. Here we'll take a Graveblade Heavy, but I don't think we're playing that. And we have a deck right now going into our last pack, so hopefully we can continue to pick up some good pulls, kind of bolster our deck we have, but I'm excited with the way things are looking right now. Here we'll take a Fungal Colossus, but I don't know, that card seems like a lot. All right, hopping on into our pack 3, pick number 1. I was worried we passed it earlier. We're taking the Territorial Bruntar. I think this card's good. I think this card is really, really solid. We're going to try it here for science. I don't like anything else all that much. Germinating Worm's pretty good. Sunstar Captain can be good, but on the splash doesn't make sense. So we're just going to pick up the Territorial Bruntar here, and I'm excited to try that card out. Hopping on into this next pack, I am very curious about how Pain for All is going to play out. You enchant a creature you control. It deals damage equal to its power to any other target, and then when it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to each opponent. So just like a good removal spell, I think we're just going to pick that here. I think that card is pretty dang good. We could take a Halia or a Blooming Stinger, but I'm going to take the Pain for All. We're going to try it out here, and I think it's a pretty good removal effect. Hopping now into our third pack. So it's either a Eumidian Terrabotanist or a Blooming Stinger. I'm definitely taking the Terrabotanist. I like this card. You just gain like 3 or 4 life as the game goes on. That is not nothing. So I'm very excited to pick that up. Sammy's kind of cool. I want to try that eventually, but I think the Terrabotanist is really, really strong here for this deck. Hopping now into our pack 3, pick 4. Do we take another Glacier Godmaw? That would be crazy. Kavaran Harrier is also pretty good. Or do we just take the Orbital Plunge and just take a good removal effect? We already got a lot of expensive things. Double Godmaw would be kind of insane, though. Oh, it's close. I'm going Double Godmaw. For the absolute bit, we're taking 2 7-mana cards. I wouldn't recommend that. It means we're probably not going to play the Rescue Skiff, but I don't think we were doing that anyways. And now we'll go double Glacier Godmaw for the win, hopefully. This deck looks insane. Looks absolutely insane. Hopefully it's decent. All right, hopping on into this next pack, and we've got some like good options. I think it's probably just a close encounter. I think we're going to have a bunch of big creatures out there. I think having a ton of removal effects is going to be good. Command Bridge is interesting, but if we have a bunch of landers in 2 colors, surely our mana will be fine today. So I think we're more than fine picking up another solid removal effect there. Now moving on into our 6th pick, and we've got a ton of options. A ton of very, very good options. I think it's probably a Gene Pollinator over an Ice Cave Crasher or another Bruntar. It's not another Bruntar. Maybe it's a Landseeker. And we cut the other Crasher. Maybe I'll do that. I think that actually makes some sense. We'll cut out this Ice Cave Crasher that's lurking down there. Hopping on into our next selection, it's either... What does this do? Oh yeah, this is great. It's just land fixing. Sunken Citadel. Great. We'll take that. Now, Plasma Bolt's coming all the way back. It's kind of crazy. We're totally fine picking that up over a Gene Pollinator, and this deck is looking nuts. I think this deck is good. I hope this deck is good. Hopping on into our 9th pick, a Hemosymbic Might. It doesn't feel super good. Let's take the gear. I don't think we're playing any of those. Here we'll take another Landseeker, although 4 of those is kind of a lot. We'll take a frontline War Rager, excuse me. But I don't think we're playing that here. And we will just finish our draft off like that. But this deck looks good. Looks good. I'm hopeful that we did a good job drafting here, and hopefully we can get some wins here today. All right, so here is the deck we are rocking with today. It looks good. Great curve out. Really, really good top end with the Godmaw and the Bruntar. And hopefully we get some wins here today. Remember, if I get 7 wins, I'm giving away a draft. So let's go ahead, cheer me on, and hopefully I can get there again today. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, now we really are hopping into our first one. We go first. I think this actually was the game we were in. So we'll keep this. Sorry I'm late. And we'll just play a mountain. We've got the Plasma Bolt. Hopefully we can draw some early action or just draw into some lands. And we'll put to play our Cav Landseeker. Oh wow. Terra Pact Intimidator is crazy. I kind of want him to let us get the landers. I'd rather have the landers here than make it into a 4-3. Although a 4-3 is pretty good. I mean, who might have complained? Okay, they're making it into a 4-3, which is probably smart. Probably smart. Maybe it means they have like a cheap removal spell here. Seed Chip Brood Tinder is decent. So looks like they're playing green-black. Interesting. We could Pain for all that, which would be kind of insane. Whoa. Or we could Plasma Bolt that. I'm gonna start by attacking. And I kind of want to Pain for all our opponent or the Brood Tinder. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's just too much fun. We're gonna take out the Brood Tinder here. I don't think doing 4 to our opponent makes that much sense there. And then hopefully we can go untap land next turn. We can play our Cav Landseeker, and then eventually into our greenhouse, into our Godmaw. Galactic Wayfarer is good, so they're going to make a lander here. We do get an untapped land, which is crazy. Absolutely, certifiably insane. We're going to attack. If they trade, we do 3 damage to our opponent, which is good. And take out their thing, which feels kind of insane. I think I liked the Pain for all there. I think that was pretty solid. And then we'll just play the Landseeker here. 4-3 with Menace is not so bad. Embrace Oblivion is pretty dang good. Removal spell solid. Into a Hole Carver is great. Into an Intrepid Tenderfoot. Oh my goodness. Our opponent is popping off here. I think now we'll just play our own Intrepid Tenderfoot. And then we will go ahead and sacrifice this to go and get another forest. And then we do have the Plasma Bolt up if things get crazy. I don't hate this spot we're in even still. So I think we're fine not blocking here. They have another Intrepid Tenderfoot, which is decent. I do think now we're interested in just playing the Atmospheric Greenhouse. Doesn't feel like spectacular here. And then we are just going to Plasma Bolt their Intrepid Tenderfoot, I think. I think that makes sense. And then I am just going to station the Atmospheric Greenhouse here. I think we're okay taking 4, taking a turn off. If we get an untap land, the Glacier Godmon would be really good. We can go ahead and start attacking with the Atmospheric Greenhouse. So I think that's kind of the goal here. If we take 5 here, it's not the end of the world. Pedigree Beckoner is really good. So we'll actually take 7 here. Ugh. That does not feel fantastic. Okay, let's take 6. That feels bad. A Territorial Bruntar is not bad. So we can play that. All they have is this. So we're taking at most 7 next turn. So I think we're supposed to station and attack everywhere to get a little bit of a counterattack going here. I think we're okay with this trade. So we're going to be taking 6 next turn. But we've got the Bruntar. If we can go land into Glacier Godmaw, it's going to feel pretty insane. They are going to play the Beckoner here. We're going to take 6, which is not ideal. But it's also not the worst thing in the world. Cav Landseeker is also just not bad. So we'll do that. We will go and get the land now, which doesn't feel great because we're not going to get to cast anything with the Territorial Bruntar. Yeah. And now do we attack? Yes, we definitely attack. I guess we attack with both because if they don't block, they just die. So we force a block here. And then we've still got the Land Seeker up. If they go cheap removal spell into double pump. And we get there! Alright, we are 1-0 quickly on today's run. And this deck feels good. This deck feels solid. Alright, we go first in this one, and this hand is bad. It is not good. We have a couple removal spells that have to have creatures out there. We have no creatures. We're going to mulligan this. We're going to try this again. This is certainly better. I think we're fine putting back a mountain. And then we will play our tap land and choose a forest here. Did turn green, which is cool. And then we'll play our Terra Pact Intimidator into our Thawbringer here, which is a decent enough curve out. Again, I think I'd rather have the landers than a 4-3 in this position. They are going to give us the counters, which is probably smart. I think in the future, I'd probably just give my opponent the counters as well. But a 4-3 is no joke. Here, we have an uncomfortable discard. I think it's probably, crazily enough, it's probably the Glacier Godmoth. We're not going to cast this for a minute. And I like the 3 into 4 that we have, so I'm going to get rid of the Glacier Godmoth. We do draw land, so maybe should have kept it, but I think this is still the right call here. And we'll just play out our Thawbringer, and we will Surveil. Now I think we probably don't want to land. Yeah, I think we're fine putting that into our graveyard, and then next turn we'll play our Land Seeker. Beamsaw Prospector is pretty good. Close Encounter is a solid draw. Super solid draw. So I think we play that. Gosh, or is that just so aggressive? I think we actually probably just attack. They can get their lander, that's fine with me. Yeah, let's just attack. I kind of want to Surveil as well, and then we'll just play our Land Seeker. We're going to hold up our removal. I think it'd be foolish to waste it this early. They get a lander, but we get to Surveil, so I think that's a fine trade-off for us. Intrepid Tenderfoot is a totally fine draw, so now we'll just play the Land Seeker, and then next turn we'll probably crack our lander and play the Intrepid Tenderfoot, if I had to guess. So can't complain with how things have started here. So now I do think we will do exactly that. I'm going to hold up the mana, though, until after combat, just in case they have any shenanigans here. Yeah, Grave Kill is... that's going to get it done. And then I do think we'll just play the Intrepid Tenderfoot, and then we will crack our lander, go and get that land. I think that's worth it. Doesn't really matter what it is here. Gravepack Monoist is pretty good. Germinating Worm is really solid. So I think we start by just attacking. If they double block, is it worth it for us to kill both of their things? I think we're okay with this double block. They'll get a 2/2, which is good for them. I guess if we kept our Intimidator alive, that actually would be pretty solid. Yeah, let's do that. Let's keep our Intimidator alive. So let's take out their Monoist with our Intrepid Tenderfoot. If they can save it, that'd be good. So we're going to keep our Intimidator alive, and then we're just going to put a counter onto the Intrepid Tenderfoot here. So the next turn we can still attack past their 2/2 pretty well with a 4/3 and a 3/3. So that was kind of my logic there for wanting to play that a little bit more aggressively. Them sacking the block is a good start. Means they're digging for something. Alright, so I do think we'll start by just attacking, because I want to play the Germinating Worm. Another Grave Kill is good, But we're still getting for 4, and we'll get to play a 5/5. So I'm still kind of rocking with the decisions we've made here so far. Thrumming Hive Pool is good, but a little bit too slow. And we draw the exact card that can punish it. We will attack everywhere and we get there again. All right, we are quickly 2-0 on the day, ripping through this challenge. All right, hopping into this next one. I do think we probably keep this. I mean, we've got both of our colors in the Citadel and the Mountain. I'm hoping that somebody lets us make some lander tokens. It's kind of the dream. And if not, hopefully we'll draw a couple lands. That's a great start to doing that. Here we will pick a forest as our tap land color. Melded Moxite is decent. I'm intrigued to see how red-white will perform. It was really bad in Aether Drift when there was like somewhat spaceship vehicles. So I'm intrigued to see how that does here. Give us the landers. I guess it doesn't really matter now that we drew our 4th land. They do! Okay, so hopefully we can get to our Glacier Godmaw by the end of this thing. Nova Hellkite is great. That's why they did it. That's not great. I guess we do have the diplomatic relations, so we can play the Cav Landseeker into that, hopefully. But that doesn't feel great. The Hellkite is quite strong. So I think we're just going to end our turn there. I don't really want to Plasma Bolt our opponent here, and we will just go and get a land. Frontline War Rager is decent. They'll get to play the Hellkite next turn, which is pretty good. We're just going to go now and get another forest. And I think it probably makes sense for us to just get the Landseeker online. And then we're going to use the lander token it's making. Next turn we'll crack that, and then we'll be able to play our Plasma Bolt and take out the War Rager, hopefully. That's kind of the goal. Ooh, they have a tap land here, so they cannot play out the Hellkite as it currently stands, which is good for us, hopefully. Never mind, they have Invasive Maneuvers, which is really good. I do think... Yeah, that's tough. I think we probably just crack one of the landers. We'll go and we'll get a forest. And then we'll Plasma Bolt their frontline War Rager here, dealing 3 damage to it. And then we probably will just... Oh no! That lander went away? I thought we did the one that was not gone. Oh no! That's brutal.
Perfect.
That is brutal. I meant to do the one that was disappearing. I must have clicked on the wrong one. So that's not great. But yeah, so we would have gotten to play the Godmaw and attacked with it, which is a huge difference. Oh, that's so tough. That is so tough. They're going to station their land, which is good. So now we are just going to play the Godmaw, and hopefully it can hold on for a second. That is the goal here. I'm not sure why it taps like that. I would have rather had the full bore up. I'm not sure why it didn't tap like that. So hopefully we're fine. But if they have a removal spell here, we're in a pretty tough spot. We've got 3 things that are tied to creatures, and we'd have no creatures out there. Nova Hellkite is good. So goal now, I think, is we go Pain for All, taking out the Hellkite. But our opponent is having quite the curve out over there. The creature becomes a 4/5, which is good. I do think now we go Blooming Stinger. We go Pain for All. And we take out their Nova Hellkite here. And then I'm going to tap 2 to sacrifice our lander token and go get a mountain. And it's going to give everything that we have +1/+0 and vigilance and haste until end of turn. And then we will just attack with these 2 creatures, which feels decent to me. We're going to keep up the full bore. No need to play it here. And we're just going to hold on for a second. Hopefully that's enough here. We've also still got the diplomatic relations for the Godmaw and the War Rager. Scout for Survivors is interesting. So we're just going to try to build up their board that way. Starport Security is fine. I assume they're going to just like tap down some things and try and copy a artifact or enchantment. I'm hoping we can draw a land next turn, because that will allow us to, well, I guess we can still attack with Vigilance with our diplomatic relations, which will be pretty good. If they accrue too much more, they're going to be in a really tough spot. So, I mean, there's a lot of draws that are good for us here. I think just drawing a land is good, because we can play our mountain. Everything will get Vigilance, and then we will diplomatic relations, the Glacier Godmaw, and this frontline War Rager. And then we'll just attack everywhere. And so this way we're getting 6. We'll only get 9 through. So I think we're okay just letting this resolve as is. So we'd be getting through... Yeah, we'd only be getting through 9. So I think we're fine just letting that resolve. And we'll get our opponent down to 4. And then hopefully our full bore can take over next turn. Oh, I forgot we also have that if it does damage to us. So it would have worked. Oh, no. That was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. I forgot about the pain for all that was tied to our creature. Hopefully it doesn't matter. I don't think it will. But we'll see. It might. It might matter here. All right. So we draw another land, which I'm pretty sure does it. So we'll just play that. If they have a removal effect, it is pretty good. But we're just going to attack everywhere. We'll see what happens. Oh, I guess they can tap down our Glacier Godmaw. So that is actually pretty solid here. We are still going to attack with our Blooming Stinger. And then I do think we'll keep it alive. I still like the spot we're in, but they can just Starport Security our Glacier Godmaw over and over. Sammy Ship's Engineer is pretty good. Hopefully we can push through this last damage here. We'll see. I will say, hopefully we'll also draw some action and not just continue to draw lands. Like, I think the Intrepid Tenderfoot is pretty good here. So we'll go next to combat, and we'll just swing out. I think that makes sense. So now even if they block this, they're going to be taking the damage that's dealt to our creature. So I think we get there. I think we did the thing. All right, we get the job done again. We are now quickly 3-0 on the day. All right, hopping into this next one. Our opponent goes first. I do like this hand a lot. Pain for All is fun. That card was really good in our last match. I think that's the best possible showing it can have. But we'll keep this 7. We'll play our Eumidian Terrabotanist on 2. Maybe we'll shock their Hemosymbic Might here. It feels wrong to do that, though. I mean, do we really care about that? I think we're going to get something better. So I'm just going to play a Forest, and we'll pass. And we will just play our Terrabotanist next turn. Night Luminary is pretty good. So they're going to make a 1-1, and they'll get to make a 1-1 again on their 4th turn. So pretty solid from our opponent. I will say, I do think the Terrabotanist is a pretty good blocker on this board, because even if their Might gets tapped, it's only becoming a 2-2. Flight Deck Coordinator is decent, but they cannot attack through us, which is great news. So I'm going to play this land. And I think I'm just going to... I'm going to warp our Germinating Worm. And then I'm going to Plasma Bolt the Flight Deck Coordinator. And then, are we attacking? Probably not. I think we want to play defensively in this game, especially because we only have 3 lands. I'd love to go get a land with and be able to play our Kav Land Seeker, but if we don't, we kind of have to be prepared for that. And so I think that makes the most sense for us. Sunstar Lightsmith is decent. Full Bore is just not great. Not great. Yeah, I think we just pass. And then hopefully we can draw a land next turn. We still do have the Close Encounter up, which we could play. Germinating Worm is pretty good. All Fates Stalker is decent. So it's going to take out our Insect Druid here. Gosh, we would have to... Oh, this is such a sketchy line. So they're going to draw a card. They get a counter. Oh, they're doing it on their own thing. I thought they were playing this for 4, which was my error. Weird. Weird things are happening. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I think we're fine letting it go to attackers, and then they're going to attack us, and then now we can just full bore and eat their thing. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, that was strange. I don't think we have any interest in close encountering their All Fate Stalker right now, because then they would get the worm. So I think we're just going to pass the damage. We're just going to be content eating their thing. And then the Stalker will leave. Oh, are they going to get the Germinating Worm on the battlefield? Oh my gosh! What a cool thing that is happening. I did not put together any of this. So now I do think we will take that out with our Terrabotanist. Okay, I'm thinking through the lines here. What a weird exchange that has just happened. But we will get rid of that. Ugh. We do not draw a land. Yikes. We're going to hold off on attacking, but they're just going to play the non-assassin killer here. We really need to draw a land. Drawing a land would be awesome. Like we'd be so in business. But if we don't, we're in a really tough spot. All right, we do draw a land. I think it's just us playing out the Kav Landseeker. Yeah, it is. I was thinking about getting cute with it and playing the social engineering, but I think this makes the most sense. Just a really good blocker on this board. And we have to hope they don't have any more action in their hand, but if they do, they do. Night Luminary is good. So they are going wide at the moment. Whoa, that's a weird attack. That is a weird attack. Oh, man, that's so strange. Do we not block? I'm not blocking. I'm afraid of this. I'm not blocking. Okay, so now what I think we do is we just go Pain for All. We enchant our creature. We take out their All Fate Stalker. I'm now going to crack our lander so that we can crack the lander. We're going to go and we're going to get a mountain. We'll get a life from doing that. And then I'm going to hold off on attacking. I think that we have to think that this card is some sort of combat trick. Halia is good. Good magic card. Gosh, what do they have left in their hand? I think we're okay blocking this with the Landseeker. I think that's right. Because the next turn we can play our Germinating Worm, and it's still going to make it awkward for them to attack with their Halia. We could also play the Use Social Engineering into the land, and then next turn we can play the Gladmaw into another land if we draw another land. I think we want to get this online. I'm going to do it. I guess the other thing we could do is we could play this for 2. No, let's just get it online. We could have played it for 2 and then also played the Germinating Worm, but I think this makes the most sense for us for just getting it online. And then hopefully they still have some weird attacks with their counters here. Shattered Wings is good. So we'll see what they do here. They could attack and actually make like a decent attack against us, but they'd probably lose their might if they do that. But they'll get to draw a card out of it, which is good. Yeah, so we'll see where they put the counter. So the way this currently works, we'll get to just eat 2 of their things. That feels good. Huh? Okay. We will take some damage there, but I think we make out pretty good in that exchange. Sunken Citadel is solid. So we can go Glacier Godmaw. Sunken Citadel gives, we get a life back, and then everything gets vigilance, so we can just swing everywhere, and then next turn we can play the Germinating Worm, crack the lander, everything's got vigilance and haste, so that's pretty good. Gene Pollinator is not it. All right, I like what we can do here. We're going to play our Germinating Worm. And then I do think now we just try and kill our opponent. So instead of cracking the lander, I'm just going to play Diplomatic Relations and take out the Halia. And then we are going to attack everywhere. And we get there again! We are ripping through this run. This draft deck feels absolutely insane from our end. It feels really, really strong. All right, hopping on into this next one. We go first. Kind of a weird one. We've got the Plasma Bolt. We've got the Frenzied Baloth. But if we don't draw a forest, it's weird. Oh, it's so strange. And then it's really slow after that. I'm going to mulligan this. I think that's probably the correct call. We're going to keep this. And I don't really need to use Social Engineering. I mean, it would be nice, but I think we're fine going Terra Botanist into Thawbringer into Diplomatic Relations. I think that's a much more normal curve out and gives us a better chance of winning here. Looks like our opponent took a mulligan as well, which is good for us. So we're not at a huge disadvantage to start here. We will just play our Terra Botanist. Huge fan of that card. And, ooh, a Territorial Bruntar is not bad. So we're going to just attack with our 2-3. And then I'm just going to play the Thawbringer out. I do think having a 4-2 out there is a good thing. And do we want lands? Probably not. I think we probably want to draw some other sort of action, and the odds are is that we're probably going to draw another land between now and the Bruntar. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the graveyard. I'm going to do it. And then I think we'll still get there comfortably, and if not, we're drawing action we can play, so that would be good. Starfighter Pilot is interesting, like a Kav Landseeker. That is exactly what I wanted to draw. So I think now we just attack with the 2-3. I don't really want to trade with their Starfighter Pilot. And then we'll just play our Kav Landseeker. And then next turn, we'll probably just go get a land. We might play a Diplomatic Relations, but we'll see. Oh, this card is so good. Whenever one of our creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card, you lose a life. Okay, that card is nice. It is really, really good. So I think we just go, we're supposed to get our land, aren't we? So we can play our stuff next turn. But if we go Diplomatic Relations and then attack everywhere, it's pretty good. And we can go try and get a land that way through Surveilling, because they're going to block with the Starfighter Pilot. So we're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to take out the Elegy Acolyte. That card is just so good. I'm afraid of it. And then we are going to attack everywhere. We will Surveil. And now I do want to land because we have the Atmospheric Greenhouse in hand, which is really good. So I think we're totally fine with that forest. We do lose our lander, which kind of stinks, but we got that off the battlefield. We've got a better board presence, and hopefully we can hang on here. So now I do think we just slam the greenhouse. They probably have a removal effect or something. They have 4 cards in hand. Odds are they don't have nothing in their hand. Whoa. Do we dare get this online right now? I think we're probably supposed to attack. Especially because next turn we can play the Bruntar and then we can station it that way. But yeah, like I wanted to play against them having a removal spell there. But either way, they would have just destroyed our artifact if we had put all of our energy into that. So it's not the end of the world there at all. They have another one? Oh my goodness. Odds of that are crazy, and we have a really bad draw. Pretty much anything we could have drawn would have been really good, except for this. Oh, that's so tough. That's so tough. If we draw a land, we play the Bruntar. If we play any other action, we're good. It's just the 7 mana cards that we can't play. So that's a really, really unfortunate draw. But that's all right. We're definitely not out of it. Definitely not out of it yet. We've still got a really good chance here. Corral of the Void. I don't even know what this does. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put target creature from the defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness. It is... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And they triggered the Void, so they get to do that again next turn? Oh my gosh. Okay, it is bad. It is officially very bad. Oh my gracious. So, we have to just play out a Blooming Singer, which is not good. And then... Oh no. Oh no! Hopefully we can draw land. That'd be cool. But they get to go take a Thalbringer from our graveyard, put it onto the battlefield, which is quite good. Quite good. Corral of the Void. I don't, this is a lot of setup, but this is like the ultimate time to have it. That's a pretty cool lineup for our opponent there. You gotta attack with it again. You gotta do the thing. I guess that makes sense. We'll take out their 2/2 here so they get the Void trigger. So I'll just make another 2/2. This is probably too much for us to overcome, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try anyways. Flight Deck Coordinator is okay. Sunset. Okay, now they're now I'm worried. Now I'm worried. Okay, so we can play our Territorial Bruntar, which is not bad. And then I do think we just station that with this. Are we attacking? Probably not. Yeah, no, we're certainly not attacking. I think either way, we're still in a really tough spot here. Because they have a 4/1 with Menace and a 4/3 with Menace. So it's at least 8 Menace coming at us. If they kill something else we have, we're in a really tough spot. We'll see what they do here. But if we go untap land and we can get the Godmaw out there, we're going to be able to counterattack pretty good here. So, oh, I forgot it's tapped and attacking. Oh gosh, I forgot that was a thing. Okay, so... we block like this. We block like this. We take 8. But then we're just like super dead next turn. So we have to block like that. And then they take out our greenhouse. We keep a 3/4. Yeah, this is probably right. Oh, it does not feel good. Does not feel good. This is sick though. Like, shouts out to our opponent for making that work. They get to draw a card and lose a life too, which is good. Them having 2 of those was also kind of insane. I mean, that was cool in and of itself. Germinating Worm is not the worst thing in the world, so we'll just play that. We'll get some life back, which is good. And then their attacks are going to get worse here, because we can double block their Sunset Saboteur, but they still have a lot of cards in hand because they drew so many cards off of the Elegy Acolyte. So, whew, we're going to be hanging on for a second here, hopefully. Looks like they might look to start stationing their Adagia Windswept Bastion. I'm not sure if they want to just copy the like 2/2 artifact or if they might have something better as well. So that's kind of concerning. So we do draw a land, which is interesting. So it's going to be good for our Bruntar here. We're also going to get a life back, which is really important. I think I'm more inclined to just play... I guess next turn we could play the Godma and then attack with it. And here we can play our Tenderfoot. And then we can put a counter on it. So it's a 3/3. Yeah, maybe that makes some sense. We'll try to surprise them with the Glacier Godmon next turn. So we'll attack with our 6/6. Actually, probably our 5/5, because if they double block that way, we don't feel so bad about it. Oh, sure. Yep. You have Squire's Lightblade. Of course. Wonderful. Wonderful news. We will put a counter onto our Intrepid Tenderfoot, and we're in a tough spot. We are all of a sudden again in a tough spot, especially too because they can station and then they can copy the Squire's Lightblade. So that was probably their logic there. They can only activate that as a sorcery though, so that's good. At least we'll know about it. Perigee Beckoner is annoying. Is quite annoying. So we can double block the Saboteur. But it'll still come back as a 4/1, which is good. Oh, man. I mean, we're probably supposed to block it. It's such an uncomfortable trade, though. So I'm going to take out our Botanist. We'll keep our Tenderfoot around, but it does not feel great over here at the moment. I guess maybe that's why we should have considered playing the Glacier Godmaw instead there as just a better blocker. So here we will go Glacier Godmaw. And then we will play a tap land as a mountain. But what's tricky is I don't know that we're even going to attack. I guess we're probably supposed to attack like this. Just because we have Vigilance. And we would be trading our Godmaw for the Beckoner, essentially. But then our Bruntar would still be good. Yeah, let's do this just to put as much pressure on our opponent as we can. Yep, that is exactly what we thought would happen. Oh, they're double blocking. Okay, sure. Sure. Oh, why would we not take out the bigger thing? Oh, no!
Wait!
That's, oh my gosh. I thought it would just automatically take out the thing that was obviously, we should take out the 4/5. And so we just lose now because we can't block this. Oh, that's so frustrating. Oh, that's so dumb. That is so dumb. Why would it automatically, I guess it's the first day this set's been out. But dumb stuff's gonna happen. But we get absolutely hosed there. We would have been able to block their other creature, and now instead we just lose our creature. I mean, maybe we weren't winning. We probably weren't winning anyways. Let's be honest. Like a 3-2 and a 1-1. That's pretty good. Yeah, we'll go down here. Oh, a couple tough things there, but I don't think we're getting out of that regardless. The Meltstrider Eulogist is a thing, and we go down. All right. That was okay. A couple tough things there, but we can definitely bounce back from that. Our opponent had a pretty crazy couple turns in the middle there. All right, how about I do this next one? We go first. I do think we keep this, and this is where the Social Engineering is actually kind of decent. I think we'll play a tap land first as a... This is tricky. I think we probably play it as a forest because we've got the Social Engineering before we have the Territorial Bruntar. But hopefully we can draw some lands here. And then next turn we'll play out a forest. We won't play anything, but then we can play the Social Engineering Warped, and we can play a mountain, and we can make a 2/2 creature that way. So here we are just going to play a mountain. I do like a land draw there. I think that's good for us. Ilvoy Gale Blade is good. Ilvoy Operative is cool. A little Ilvoy theming here on our opponent's side. So now I do think we'll just play the Social Engineering for its warp cost. And we will play a land. We'll make a 2/2. So hopefully we can block their Operative here. We'll see, though. Gravepack Monoist is good. Is good. That's going to be annoying to try and kill. I will say, Kav Landseeker is pretty decent for us here. So now we'll make a lander. We're not going to be attacking. We're already taking some heat through the skies here. That is a very real thing. But I'm hopeful we can get some life back with the worm and try and kill their things with flying. Maybe with the Pain for All. We'll see, though. Yep, we'll take 3 through the sky here, unfortunately. Ooh, this is a little bit awkward. I do think we probably just go and get a land. I don't think we want to put ourselves in a position where we're getting super aggressively counterattacked. I think the longer this game goes, the better it is for us. So do we want to get the 2 life here? Or do we want to keep up the full bore? I think we want to keep up the full bore. I think that makes a little bit more sense. So I'm going to hold off on attacking, and then we'll probably just try and keep up the full bore here, I think. But this does not feel great where we currently are. Okay, they are just going to attack with their flyer, so that's good. That is a good initial sign. So we'll take 3 here. Does not feel great, but then next turn we can maybe play the Social Engineering, or we'll just play our Germinating Worm. They have another flyer. Okay, now it is bad. Now this is very bad. So... Ugh. I think we're going to start by attacking with our Landseeker here. And if they do some kind of weird double block... Yeah, they don't. Okay, I was hoping they would. I don't know. This is so weird. Maybe we just play another Kav Landseeker. And then we hope to, like, full bore and then Pain for All. And, like, try and kill our opponent that way. And we try to just, like... steal a win here. I think that actually makes the most sense. So next turn we're going to play our full bore on one of our... What's tough is we didn't call it a mountain earlier. So we actually can't do that. Yikes. Yeah, so we're going to take 5 here. And then I think the goal is we attack with both of the Landseekers. And then whichever one gets through... Oh, that's a good pull. That's a good pull. Whichever one gets through, we try and full bore that. But if we don't draw a mountain, it's bad. Oh, we didn't draw a mountain. Oh, no. Oh, no. That is so bad. So we're down to 7. Oh, this is so uncomfortable. I think we have to just play the Germinating Worm, and then we hope that they don't kill us. It's still really close. Like, they have 8 points of flying damage. We get 2 life back. We'd be at 9. And then we still aren't guaranteeing that we would draw a mountain. Either way, I think it makes sense for us to attack with one of the Landseekers. I mean, I say it makes sense. I have no idea. We're going to attack with one of them. This is probably wrong. It's very aggressive because if they remove any of our things next turn, we just lose. But we're going to try it. We're going to play a Germinating Worm. I think this is right. We'll go up to 9. And then we're still holding up the possibility that we could draw a Mountain next turn. And then we can go full bore, Pain for All, hit our opponent. But things feel sketchy right now. Okay, they are just going to attack us for 5, which is a great sign. Ilvoy Operative is fine. So I'm glad we were attacking, putting some pressure on our opponent here. Oh, they can play the Whale out, which is really good. Whoa, I did not think about that. We did not draw a Mountain. Can we still do it? I don't know. So I think what we have to do is we have to try and just attack everywhere and see what happens. And maybe we can get lucky here, but that's kind of all we can do. Yeah, let's just attack everywhere and see what happens. We're probably just dead. Pain for All, like, could, in theory, we could win. If they do something crazy here and go down to like 9 and keep one of our things alive. But I'd assume they're going to double block like a normal person. Yeah. Oh, it's so close. If we just drawn a Mountain, we would have won. Like, we just play this and then we play the Pain for All. The other thing we could have done, I guess, is we could have played the Pain for All pre-combat. And so, like, they would have taken 6 more, but they still wouldn't have lost. Oh, this one is so close. But yeah, we're not going to get there. Oh, it is so, so close. Can we stay alive for a second? I don't think so. So we'll play our Blooming Stinger. Does not matter. And then we'll just play our Pain for All. Oh, we were so, so, so close. We come down to 3. We tried and we go down again. All right. We are getting stopped in our tracks. We're now 4-2 on the day. Hopefully we can bounce back in this next one. All right, how about in this next one? We go first. We're definitely keeping this. We can go 2, 3, 4, which is great. We'll see what they do with our Terra Pact Intimidator, but every time I've played this card, it's felt fantastic. This card seems insane. I do think we are playing it here. I think we probably want the Landers again. Okay, that seems good. The Terra Botanist is good, so maybe they just wanted to have a good blocker out there. We draw a land, which is solid. So now I think we just play the Thawbringer on 3. We'll get to Surveil 1. Plasma Bolt, I think, is totally fine where it is. And we will hold off for a second. And then next turn we'll play our Landseeker. Turn after we can crack one of our Landers and play the Plasma Bolt. So that's kind of my logic there. We could also just do it right now. Yeah, let's just do it right now. So let's crack a Lander. Let's go and get another Forest. And let's attempt to Plasma Bolt their Terra Botanist. Of course, they have a protection spell. Why, of course. I'm glad we know that. Gives it indestructible, so we're not attacking. So that's not great. It's not fantastic. But we're also not in the worst spot in the world. I'm telling you, Terra Botanist is good. Getting all that life back is kind of insane. They're already up to 25. I do think now... Do we try to kill it again? Probably. Yeah, I do think we're supposed to. We will try to kill it again. We are successful this time, because we get to do 7 points of damage to our opponent, which feels pretty solid. And then we'll just play out our Intrepid Tenderfoot as a 2-2. Could be a 3-3 next turn, if we wanted it to be. They have an Intrepid Tenderfoot of their own, which is good. Okay, and then they're going to play a Diadrine. Oh, it's the mana spent to cast it. That makes so much sense. Not what X is equal to. So because they spent 4 mana to cast it, it's a 4/5. Okay, that card is way better than I thought it was. I was reading it wrong. Okay, so here I think we go... Well, that really puts our plans into a tizzy. So I think we just play our Land Seeker, and then we'll just put a counter onto our Tenderfoot. And then next turn, we'll probably just go get a couple lands. Yeah, this card is way better than I thought it was. I thought it was what X is equal to, not the amount of mana spent to cast it. Lash Whip Predator is quite strong. So we're in a little bit of a stalemate here as it currently stands. I think our opponent's side of the board is a little bit better than ours. Sunken Citadel is not great, so I'm going to crack this lander. We're going to go and get another mountain. And then we'll just play our Citadel. We'll put a counter here. We'll call it a day. We'll pass to our opponent. We'll just do all this on our turn just because I'm being lazy. And we're not attacking. So we're in a little bit of a tough spot. I will say we do have more lands than our opponents. Oh, wow. Yeah, Glacier Godmaw is really good, especially if they have a land right now. Ooh, that attack is interesting. Atmospheric Greenhouse is pretty crazy. So I think we probably just play that. And then we'll just put a counter onto our Intrepid Tenderfoot. Make it into a 6/6. I don't think we're going to be blocking with our Intimidator, so I'm going to go ahead and crew. I'm going to station with that. And then we're not attacking, but that was a pretty good draw for us. If they go land here, we're in an uncomfortable position. Scout for Survivors is good. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what a crazy couple of things our opponent just did. So, oh, that's so uncomfortable. Oh, man. Wow, going double land there. I did not have that on my bingo card. And bringing this back, and they're not attacking with it. Okay, so let's really think through this. I think it's supposed to just be this. Oh, that feels so bad. That feels so, so bad. It might also just be this. We'll take 14. I like that a little bit better. We'll surveil 1 too. Oh, gosh. What a crazy turnout from our opponent there. We do not want that land. We get another Cav Land Seeker, which is not great. Is not fantastic. We're in a really tough spot here. I don't think we crew. Yeah, we're not doing that. Oh man, this is probably where we go down. Oh, it's tough. Fatemaker's great. Yep. Yep, giving everything trample. What a good draw. I will say our opponent, that's a crazy like 3 or 4 draws in a row there. And this is where it ends. This is where we go down. We are certainly losing here. They've got 19 points of trampling damage. We have only got 9 points of toughness. So this is where we end today. And this deck was so good. I'm very surprised by this. I think we kind of fell apart there at the end. We had some weird draws, some weird stuff happening. Our opponent having crazy turns, and this is where our draft ends here today. This is the deck that goes down. So based on my performance today, I'm giving away a rare card set to one of you. All I have to do to claim this is like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below on how you think I did. What would you have done differently? I definitely misread that rare. I maybe would have taken that. We would have maybe thought about splashing white, maybe playing the rescue skiff and that rare, and maybe trying to make that work. But this deck was awesome. This deck was super fun. When it curved out, when I was drawing well, it was really, really good. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.